Hi everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to my presentation. Before we get started, let me tell you a fact that you probably don't know. Nowadays, there has been a technology which can make your crops immune to pests and diseases naturally, or give your crops the ability to utilize seawater for irrigation instead of expensive fresh water, or it can also make your crops become resistant to drought, like the cactus plant, which is amazing. So, what is that amazing technology? Well, that amazing technology is termed gene editing or CRISPR. So, today's topic is an introduction to gene editing or CRISPR. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to my presentation. I am Jun Haoxie, a master's student in horticulture at UCD School of Agriculture and Food Science. And in this presentation, I'm going to give you an idea of what gene editing is and how does it work and some examples to illustrate what it could do, followed by why I think this is a technology which helps you to improve your produce. My aim is really to let you know what gene editing can do and how powerful it is and how it can be beneficial to your crops or produce. Let's start from its definition. As the name suggests, gene editing means to edit a gene to change the function of the gene. And here's a more formal definition. Gene editing is a type of genetic engineering in which DNA is inserted, deleted, modified, or replaced. Now, you might ask, what does it mean or what would happen when you edit a gene? Well, in order to answer this question, I would like to tell you a bit about how does a gene work and how does editing work. In terms of how does a gene work, well, I believe that all of you know at least a bit about genes, and you know the concept that when you have a gene for blue eyes, then you have blue eyes, and when you have a gene for yellow eyes, then you'll have yellow eyes, okay? And in terms of how editing works, well, just think of Photoshop and how Photoshop can change a picture. Gene editing is just like Photoshop and it can change a gene. So gene editing means you edit or change a gene and accordingly you change the function of the gene. Here's an inappropriate but compelling example. If you have the gene for blue eyes and you edit the gene, changing it into a gene for yellow eyes, then you will change your blue eyes into yellow eyes. That's how gene editing works. And here are some real examples of gene editing which demonstrate what the technology can do in actuality. The first one is to transform a bacterium, enabling it to digest plastic very effectively. This is something being worked on by one of the labs in UCD Earth Institute. And the second example is boneless fish. Some people don't like eating fish simply because fish can have a lot of bones. However, an institute successfully created boneless fish by using gene editing recently, which is great. And the third example is gene-edited baby. In 2018, a science team transformed two babies, giving them the immunity to, HIV, which was very controversial at that time. Well, scientifically speaking, this was good, but in terms of ethics, this should be banned. The fourth example is cannabinoids producing yeast. Cannabinoids are the substances that can make you excited when you smoke weed, but if they could be produced by using gene-edited yeast, they could be mass-produced in a short time, which is much, much more effective. Uh, this is how they transform yeast by using gene editing. Firstly, they identified the gene for cannabinoids in wheat, and after that they added the gene to yeast by using gene editing. And then they had yeast that could produce cannabinoids. Those examples I just mentioned are real examples, and I believe that you can see now that gene editing or CRISPR is an absolutely amazing technology beneficial to your products. So that's why I think that this technology is powerful and useful to you. And the fact that the 2020 Nobel Prize, which went to scientists for their work on CRISPR, really proves that this is a world-changing technology, and if you can use it in your produce, you can make your produce world-changing as well. But there are some limitations. Gene edited produce is permitted and encouraged in the United States and in Japan and as well as in some other countries, but it hasn't been permitted in the EU. Anyways, let's go to the conclusion. Well, I hope that I already gave you a concept of what gene editing is and how powerful and beneficial it is to your produce. And you can literally give whatever characteristics you want to your produce by using gene editing. For example, if the apple you grow is being attacked by a fungal disease and you don't have an effective fungicide, you can give your plant immunity to this disease by using gene editing. That's all. Thank you very much for your attention and have a good day. And if you need to transform your produce into something amazing by using gene editing, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you again.